previously on Nerd Talk.
I mean, because she also had the intelligence behind her, so
Yeah.
she was like, I'm gonna figure this out. Which, in general, that's actually something I always really liked about Buffy and shows in that style where there's like a group dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
They have like that problem solving. Like they get together and they're like, okay, this is the big bad. This is your strength. This is your strength. And they use everybody's strengths.
Yeah.
And they get together as a team and they solve it. Of course, Buffy's always the hero, of course. But she couldn't have done it without like her little entourage, her buddies there.
Yeah.
And they all brought
The
something.
Scoobies.
Yeah, they all brought something to the table, to the story. So I really like that. I like stories like that where there's a team and they get together. And I know David is in that one too, but Bones is like that where they get together. I love stories like that.
Yeah.
And it's always usually resolved within one episode.
Hey, nerds.
Hello.
We're back with another episode of Nerd Talk with Silver and Ray, where we talk about our fandoms. That's including TV shows, video games, movies, comics, so on, books, and forth. You know, I'm Silver.
And I'm Ray.
How you doing today, Ray?
I'm still sleepy. But I think, like I said, I'm going to be perpetually sleepy forever. But
Another day, another sleepy.
hey, I feel great though. I don't have a headache. I'm not in pain. So positive. I feel great.
That is amazing.
Yes.
I feel very good too. No pain. I might have to use the bathroom.
That's cute.
But today we're talking about video games, one of my favorite topics. I know you don't know a super ton about it, but you are in relationship or married to somebody who loves video games, and you're best friends with somebody who loves video games, so you know something about it. You may not play that much. And you know, you have your games you play on your phone and stuff, I'm sure.
I
That
mean
counts.
the games I play on my phone, if they count, I mean great. I do play them quite often, but they're like puzzle games and village building games. I play Township, which is literally that you build a town,
Yeah.
feed the piggies, make sure the chickens have corn, stuff like
Farming.
that.
You're farming on your phone.
Like a farm bill type game. Exactly. Yeah, I mean 20 plus years of watching you and Mike play video games. I should know more, but all I know is how to watch. That's it.
And people love to watch. Yeah, there's lots of good channels where people just play video games and people watch. So
And there's one thing, I don't watch other people. Like I don't watch too many like YouTube videos of people playing games. I know that's a big thing, but I could watch you and Mike play for hours.
yeah.
And I'm always at peace when I watch you and Mike play. So I think that's why I prefer. I don't know. It's just a fun moment to be in. And
Yeah, and there's somebody doing something they love, so I'm sure that brings on the good vibes as well.
yeah, it's just I have bad eyes and it's hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to do it.
And you get dizzy
And I
all
get
that.
dizzy so fast. But when you guys play, I don't feel dizzy sometimes. There's been some games like if it goes too fast, or if
Yeah.
it's like one of those where it's the perception and that's what you see, it's just the hands in front of you and they're moving, that wigs my eyes out. I don't know what it is, but that does wig my eyes
So
out.
you don't want to do any virtual reality.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. We had a virtual reality thing for a minute, but
Yeah.
I never put it on.
Yeah, I had it for a minute too, and I will say that's the one time I felt motion sickness. I don't get motion sick in cars or on roller coasters or anything like that, but having that thing on your eyes and just it moving around so fast, even though it moves with your head, like at some point I was starting to get nauseous. I was
Yeah.
like, it's too much for my brain, I think.
Yeah, like when we went to Epic and we rode Mario Kart, even those glasses that you have to wear, the little visor hat, that was too much for me. And I think you were there with me when I asked. I was like, if I ride this again, can I do it without the visor?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you can't collect coin. I don't care.
I don't care.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not get the headache. My eyes did not like this.
Yeah, but I've been playing games since I was little. My first console was a Super Nintendo, so I did have the Nintendo at some point, but no, I had the Nintendo, and my neighbor had the Super Nintendo. And so my first console was a Nintendo, and then eventually I got the Game Boy, so that was my first handheld. So I was heavily in the Nintendo family for a
Yeah, I
long
have my
time.
Nintendo stuff. I love
And well,
Nintendo.
Nintendo was the only game in town
Mm-hmm.
for a while,
Yeah.
until Sony jumped on board and Microsoft eventually got on board as well. But it all started with Nintendo. Well, Atari and them, but I was too young for that one. But Nintendo was the main game in town for a while, so everybody had one.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had a Nintendo or Super Nintendo or Game Boy. But that's how I got introduced to video games.
Mm-hmm.
And to me they're just a story that you kind of have control over. So just like I love TV and films and books, it's the same thing. It's just a story, but I have a little bit more control over it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like games so much, and that's why I like role-playing games especially, because
Nice.
it's literally just a story and you're
Mm-hmm.
just playing it. And so there's so many great ones. Some of my all-time favorite game is Skies of Arcadia, Legends, because if you don't have the Legends, it's slower to gain experience, and so it takes forever. It's a much slower
Mm-hmm.
game. So when they remade it and did Legends, they finagled around with the balance of it more, and it got better because of that. And so there are items in the game where you can make it like the old one, but why would you?
Yeah.
But it's such a great game. It's about pirates. There are just islands everywhere, and you live in the sky. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Skyward Sword of Zelda,
Mm-hmm.
where you live on islands in the sky and you fly around on like dragon birds or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in Skies of Arcadia, you were a pirate. Uh,
Nice.
but you're a good pirate, so you're kind of like Robin Hood pirate, where you steal from the rich, you steal from the bad guys,
Mm-hmm.
and you give to the poor. You save people with that money.
I like that.
And then obviously you need to save the world from the bad guys. So, as most stories I play and most things I read, that's what it is. There's the good and the evil, and you're the good and you want to save people.
Mm-hmm.
Though the first game I played where you could be evil was Fable. And
I remember watching you play that one.
yeah, so all your choices matter in the world, and that's something I really like, and I really wish they would have in more games.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everything you decide to do, every choice you make matters. Witcher is like that, but Witcher is too advanced for me, I think. I'm a gamer, but I feel like
That's too much. That's next level.
yeah, I'm a simple gamer. Like, I'm a smash button gamer and like make decision gamer. I'm not like, oh, let me get skilled in this. And like, oh, I know what I'm gonna talk about later when I'm nerding out about. I remembered. But yeah, so Witcher was kind of difficult for me, and then when I got the first Witcher, it didn't work on my PC for some reason. Either the PC was too advanced or something, and it just wasn't compatible. But I could never get the first one to work, which is the one I wanted to play first, obviously, because there's
Mm-hmm.
three of them. But I'm like, I want to play the first one, and I was so interested because it was a game where all the choices you made mattered. Like, it would come up later in the game, like, oh, you decided this, and these people were hurt or these people were helped or something like that. So Fable was like that, and it was the first game where you could be good or you could be evil. You would even like grow horns or like a devil or something. If you got
Wow.
evil, you grew like wings,
Mm-hmm.
angel wings, if you were really good. So I love that game, and most of the time I was good. I might have tried to be evil once, and I'm like, I don't feel good about this.
That's funny. I think I mentioned it once before, but in I think it was Donkey and Diddy Kong or something. It wasn't like a big choice. You didn't become evil, but
Hmm.
there was like a guy who runs a store that you buy stuff from,
Okay.
and he was like, "Oh, will you give me something or do something?" And if you said yes, he gives you the answer to something you need later, and you
Hmm.
can't move on in the game if you don't say yes.
Sure.
But if you played it multiple times and you already know the answer doesn't change. When you replay it, you can say no. So and then he has an answer for that.
Okay.
And then he's like, oh, like, and then you kind of like are mean in that moment.
Uh-huh.
And I always, after the first time, I always said no. I just thought it was so funny because I didn't need him, but you couldn't skip it. You had to go to him.
Yeah.
So I would say no, but then, and then he'll say something like, oh, I guess you read the book or like the
Right.
guide. He's like, I
Yeah.
guess you read the guide. You didn't need me anyway. And I was like, nope, I just played the game before.
Right.
But those
I'm
I'm just
just replaying
replaying.
now.
Those are the kind of games I used to play. Really, it was like the Disney ones when I was little, like Aladdin and Lion
Lion King. Oh
King.
yeah,
Those were
love
my.
Lion King. So
I think
Aladdin was so good too.
I played those like nonstop for like a whole summer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because like I've stated, I've never been like an outdoorsy person in the
Mhm.
heat. I'm not a heat person. I know I live in Florida, but in New York in the summers it would get very hot, so I would just stay at home and play Aladdin and Lion King. And I watch TikToks now of people mentioning to their kids like, "Oh, you think you're tough? Well, I beat the Lion King when I was
And
growing
they
up."
were hard
That
for
and
sure.
I was always trying to get it to because you could play it at easy, medium, and hard, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, I gotta master all three.
Yeah.
And so like that's what I did video game wise. But that's also like where I probably
Stop.
stopped.
You were done.
I didn't continue past Super. I don't even know what really
I
came
think
out
those were
past
on
Super Nintendo.
Sega. Did they
Yeah,
have them on Nintendo too?
they had to because I never had a Sega.
Okay,
I
because
think
I
Super
think I played
Nintendo
them
was the
on
highest I
Sega.
had.
Because I remember the cartridge for Aladdin and Lion King on Sega. But yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
those games are hard, and I remember the bugs, like where you were playing as Timon or Pumbaa or whatever, and they had the mini game where you had to
He's like,
catch the bugs.
I eat like a pig.
Yeah,
Yes, and if you caught some of the bad bugs,
yeah, yeah.
the mini game would end. I used to beat that every single time. I never used to get those bad bugs. Maybe that's why my eyes are so bad now. Because I couldn't even see to do that now.
Yeah,
If I take these glasses off, I'm literally blind now. But that's like the last 10 years. When I was younger, I had perfect 20/20 vision.
sure.
So I used to be able to play that mini game really well. I remember that mini game.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I remember that. That just came to my mind right now.
Yes.
Because I don't have a greatest memory, but I love that game. I played it so much.
Hmm.
That and Aladdin. On Aladdin, the only thing I remember is trying to outrun the lava or whatever in that part of the game.
That was a hard level. And I never did good on the water levels in Mario.
Oh, any water level of any game is the hardest part of the game.
Yes.
Every Zelda game has a water dungeon, and I'm like, can we skip this one, please? And usually there's two
Oh,
in every Zelda. But yeah, I want to just go into more of the different games. So Skies of Arcadia is number one. That came out on GameCube. And the one before that was on the original PlayStation, I think. And then it came out on GameCube, the remake, which was the one I liked. Because I never had a PlayStation 1. But I had a Super Nintendo, I had a Sega, I had the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, and then the Game Boy SP, which I still have some of those to this day. I had the Nintendo DS, I had the 3DS, I had the XL, I had the PSP, I had the other handheld PlayStation ones. I started PlayStation 2 is the first PlayStation I had. I didn't get PlayStation 3. I just skipped to PlayStation 4. And then now I have a PlayStation 5. I had
is 5 like the latest one?
yeah, I
And
think
I think
they're
I have
about to
4.
come out with 6.
Yeah, I
So,
think I have 4. I don't know.
yeah, you can skip some because I was like, why would I go jump to 3 when I'm still playing games on 2 and I'm
Yeah.
fine with it, you know?
So long as the games are
I think
compatible, right?
2 was like the main one that put Sony on the map for
Mhm.
gaming because everybody had a PlayStation 2. And then I had the Xbox 360 first, but I ended up getting an Xbox at one point, I think. And then I have the X now. I think it's the X. It could be the S. One of them is the slim one, and I assume the S is the slim one. And the X is the big one. But yeah, the Xbox 360. I had the Xbox whatever was after that. No, this current one is the most recent one. But yeah, and I've had the Nintendo 64, the Nintendo GameCube. I had the Wii. I had Wii U.
I forgot about Wii. I forgot Wii even existed till you said those words.
And then a Wii U came out, and now I have the Switch. And then there's a Switch 2 out now, and I'm like, why do I need a Switch 2? There's nothing on there that I can't play on the first Switch. No offense to people who want us to buy new things, but
Isn't there another one that just came out, a Nintendo One or something?
Switch 2 came out.
Yeah, and there was people lining up and
Yeah. For what? I don't know. But I was never one of those. Let me go get the newest thing right now. Like, I'm like, I can wait. And
Mhm.
you know, especially if there's nothing I want to play. Like I went to get the Wii
Mhm.
because a new Zelda was coming out, and it was only going to be on the Wii. It wasn't going to be on the GameCube or something. And I was like, I need to go get a Wii.
Mhm.
You know, and so I waited for the midnight to get
Release.
that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that was the only one I've ever waited to get because I loved Zelda. Zelda I played on Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo was Link to the Past. I played that one and I loved that one. And I never played the first two that were on the regular Nintendo because I just and those are still too hard for me to this day. I think.
Those are like the ones that have they look like Pokemon, like the original Pokemon. They have
Yeah,
that style.
yeah.
Hmm. I never played
Um,
it.
but then like when Nintendo 64 came out, it was 3D. That's when it jumped to 3D, and I was like, this is beyond me.
Yes.
So I didn't get one because I was like, that's too hard. I think I tried to play in like the video game stores or whatever, and I was like, I can't. But then my brother came home one day
Mhm.
from the Navy or whatever with the Nintendo 64, and
Mhm.
he had Ocarina of Time, and he had like 007, which are the two most famous games of that system.
Nice.
And so I was like, it's Zelda. I have to play it. It's here. He's not here. I'm gonna play. So I played it, and
That's
then
funny.
I became obsessed. Um, so that what got me into 3D gaming and continued my gaming because I think if I didn't play that Ocarina at that time, I probably would have quit on
Mhm.
video games
Oh,
at that point because I'm like, it's too difficult for me. Yeah. But yeah, I kept going because of Ocarina of Time. So I love Ocarina of Time. Then there was more after that. There was the Majora's Mask one. There was Twilight Princess is the one I got for Wii U. There was the Wind Waker, which was on Wii.
which
Uh,
is the one you cosplayed from?
uh, Ocarina.
Okay.
There's Skyward Sword. There's this is from the Game Boy ones or the Nintendo DSs and stuff. So
Hmm.
it's from the one on. So they also had their own on the handheld ones. It was Zelda games on there. I played all of them, and then there's Pokemon. I played along the way in Nintendo as well. So if you have a Nintendo, you have Pokemon, you have Zelda
I
for
was gonna
sure.
say I feel like I had a Game Boy and a Game Boy Color, but my Game Boy Color actually so I have Muslim family back in New York, and I left my really nice Game Boy Color in the mosque.
Mm.
I wasn't in like the prayer room. I was like outside watching the kid, and in that little area, they were a little more lenient. You can have like a Game Boy and stuff, because in the prayer room, you can't have any of that, of course.
Sure.
And if I even was walking near there, I would leave it further away. Like I didn't, out of respect, I didn't want to even take the Game Boy Color close to it. I left it right on the ledge. Then we went to eat, and then we had to set up for food.
Mm.
And I've always been responsible for food, so I was helping set up for food, and I left it there.
Oh no.
I left it there. And then like about 4 months later, I moved to Florida. So I didn't have one when I moved here. I know. I don't know. I never even asked if anybody in the mosque found it. I figured
They probably
it's
gave it away
it, or gave it to one of the other kids,
right.
which is fine. So I didn't really even care. And I also didn't care because I was like I wasn't really playing it that actively anymore. I didn't have anyone to play anything with. The kids I was with were little
Uh-huh.
still. They're grown now, but they were little back then. And I remember when I met you, you were
Mhm.
playing
Yeah,
Pokemon,
I was deep into Pokemon on the
and
Game Boy.
I couldn't play with you because I didn't have a Game Boy. So I went and found like a used Game Boy or something so I could play with you,
Yeah.
because I was like, I can't play Pokemon with Silver. I don't have a freaking Game Boy anymore. And
Oh.
when I moved from New York to Florida, those first like 6 months to a year,
Mm.
I mean, we had like nothing because they lost our furniture and
Oh
everything
my
in that
gosh.
truck. I don't think you came over. We weren't friends just yet the first like 2 or 3 months.
Mhm.
But had we been friends like from day one, you would have come to my apartment and seen there was nothing. We had like Joey and Chandler, or Joey and yeah, Chandler, where they had all their stuff stolen, and they had like a picnic table.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was me and my mom. We had a picnic table, a blow up mattress in the bedrooms, and like the clothes that we had brought in our suitcases. That was it for like the first, I want to say four months. So it was pretty rough. I didn't have anything, so I wasn't gonna ask my mom. I'd be like, "Hey, I know we don't have furniture, but can I have a Game Boy?"
Where'd you get it then?
We eventually, once we got all our stuff in, I didn't feel so bad. Like I was putting like allowance and stuff aside. I didn't feel so bad going and buying it. I feel like it was like at a GameStop or something. I bought it used. It wasn't new or anything. It was one of the ones that used to be out by Universal on Kirkman. That GameStop's like a nail salon now, but it was out there.
There's still a GameStop on Kirkman.
It's not but the one that I went to is not open anymore. Okay. It was the big one. It used to have a movie stop connected to it and everything.
Yeah, I think it's the same one because there used to be a movie stop. Movie stop's closed now.
Yeah, it was a movie stop, GameStop area. Yeah, and I went and I collected all my monies and all my, and I went in there and I bought one so we could play, Pokemon.
And where you get it?
No, I was not against you. Against you, it was horrible. But then I was one of the other boys in our art class, Mark. I don't know if you remember him. He played it too, and he was horrible. And with him, I was great. So I was like, good, I'll play with Mark because I don't suck as much when I play with Mark. You were really good at it. I never beat you. My animals had no chance. My Pokemon, sorry. So sorry. My Pokemon stood no chance against yours. I never won any of the battles. But no, it was fun. I missed that time. And I guess that's really the last, like, to call a Game Boy Color or console. But I guess that's probably the last one I sought out on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, now we have the PlayStation. I know you got, Alex, the black and red one. What is that?
Switch.
A Switch. I'm in the know, see? You got the Switch.
I don't remember getting her a Switch.
Yeah, it was for her birthday, like her 16th birthday or something.
16? That's what I'm saying.
But you got it for her. She was very happy. Actually, I want to take that back. I think it was 13.
13? I really don't remember that.
We had that party at Fun Spot.
I remember buying her computers. That's all I remember.
And she lives on them. That's all she wants to do. And
she plays The Sims on it.
Yes, and she'll peek in her head, can I get a Sim pack? I'm like, oh God. There's a Switch right there. Like literally within my eyesight, there's a Switch, and I couldn't remember what it's called. That Switch. Thing. But yeah, no, she loves it and she plays it. And speaking of Zelda, Mike played the two new ones.
I didn't mention those because I don't play them. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, he's very into those.
They stopped following the formula, and I'm like, I'm a formula person, so now that I can just do whatever, whenever, I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, he says that in Tears of the Kingdom, it's open world.
Yeah, they're both open world games.
Creative building features.
You can literally go to the end of the game right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to play it. Too much choice.
And I mean, he collects all the Koroks. That's what I always used to hear that was like the soundtrack of COVID when we were locked away. Mm-hmm. He was collecting those things and he throws rocks at them. He was so mean. I was like, stop. That's why I fell in love with the Koroks. Because my heart.
They're being abused.
Because they're being abused and they're so cute. They're little leaf people. In my mind, leaves are fragile. You step on a leaf, it'll crunch. Mm-hmm. He's throwing rocks at them. I'm like, my heart.
Well, they used to be actual people. I don't know if the timeline that's after or before Ocarina, mm-hmm. but in Ocarina they're people. The Kokiri and then eventually by the time I don't remember which game it was. I think Wind Waker. Because Wind Waker is like way in the future and everything's covered by water now. Because that's how far in the future it is.
Yeah.
And then so all the Koroks are plant people. Instead of people but they're the same type of things because they're like immortal or something because they're afraid to leave the forest because mm-hmm. if they leave they die because I guess they start aging, but in the forest they don't age, so but I guess eventually they transform into.
I know there's a big tree one. His head looks like broccoli and he has maracas. I only know because I considered cosplaying him first, just because I was like, I want to make broccoli because his head looks like broccoli. But I have to take Florida heat into consideration when I
Right.
do costumes.
Yes.
And I was like, that sounds very hot.
Even though indoors is usually cold.
Yeah, and my Korok it breathes really well. It's just underneath I wear like what I wear for Quill, which is pretty hot. So that
Hmm.
part is hot. I did that because in my mind I was like, I'll just switch. I will be one in the beginning of the convention day and then this one at the end of the convention day. I have never done that. I don't even know what I was thinking. It has been way too hot to even consider that. Even inside conventions where it's cold. I wore the Korok last year to Tampa Bay Comic Con, and I did wear it one day to the next. So I wore
Mm.
the Korok one day and Quill the next. So I only had to bring one set of stuff to save space. But even that was, I was standing around waiting for Michael and Alex to finish talking to a voice actor, and I had the Korok costume on, and it's easier to wear than hold.
Yeah.
And I was just standing around, and some guy came up to me. They're like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna pass out?" Because I was just standing there,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh no, I'm just waiting." But keep in mind, I'm waiting as like a giant Korok. And I'm like, "No, I'm just waiting for them. I'm actually okay." It was a very breezy spot because where the voice actors are, they always give them
Yeah.
the best air ventilation
Sure.
and stuff. So that's if you hang out there, it's always a good. It's breezy, and the entrance for where Hayden Christensen was right where I was,
Hmm.
and there was a lot. There was like a big open space because they had to get him in and out fast. You know, he's big time, and I was just hanging out there. I was fine. I didn't even break a sweat. But I guess just seeing a Korok stand there, some of us would be like, "Oh no, she's gonna pass out." No, no, I'm good. I stay hydrated. I've
Right.
never passed out in a costume. Please, let's never let that happen. Um,
Yes, we wouldn't want that.
I know, but yeah, that's the most I know about Zelda is the two newest ones because those are the ones I've really watched
Hmm.
be played. I know I've never seen you play Zelda. You've mentioned it a lot throughout the years, but
Hmm.
that's not one I've ever seen you play. I know we did a little bit of research for that one you cosplayed. Gosh, now that was like 12.
But I think it was 2013, right?
Yeah, like that was a long time ago now.
Yes, like
Um,
12 years ago. Yes.
so we did a little bit of
That's
research for
when I met Amber Vance.
yes. Yep. Um, we did a little research for that, so I had to like learn a tiny bit about the game. But then your mom wound up making the costume, not me.
Yeah, she made
So I
it.
was like, well, I guess I could forget everything I learned because I'm not the one making the costume. So,
Yes, I played Sheik,
hmm
and
hmm
that is Princess Zelda in disguise. Spoiler alert.
yes,
Because she had to go into hiding because
hmm
Ganondorf was after her because he was taking over the world and turning everything evil as one does. But yeah, she was in hiding because the people who took care of her, who were like beholden to the royal family, are the Shikras, and so they taught her all they know about because they can like disappear and show up
hmm
somewhere else and all that stuff. So she's kind of like a ninja. But you throughout the game, she's helping you do stuff, and you're like, who is this guy? And it's Zelda. So,
nice.
so I always thought that was cool that it was Zelda, but you didn't know till the end.
Yeah, that's it. There's a game like that. I know I feel horrible if I say it wrong. I think it's Metroid. It's an older one.
Hmm.
I feel like it's in that older style,
Yeah,
and the main character turns out to be a girl. I
yeah,
don't think you learn it till like
yeah, you know,
games later or
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
I like
Samson or
that girl
something.
empowerment.
Yeah.
The Mulan effect. Good job. I love that.
Well, the character has a helmet on the whole time, and it's bad megapixels back in the
I
day. So
know.
you're like,
That's true.
it's some guy. Like, no, it's a girl in a space
Yeah.
because it's an alien game.
I love that.
I played a lot of Metroid too growing
Yeah,
up.
so it was right. I had the name right.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes, Metroid. Yeah.
Yay.
That was another one that was on the Game Boy. That and Tetris and pretty much Pokemon and Zelda is all I played on the
Talk
Game Boy.
about obsession with games. See, my thing with games more than physical games was also arcades. I don't know if that counts as
Yeah.
gaming, but I loved arcades.
It
Like
was
old,
original because it was before people could take it home.
I love that. And even like growing up, since we were pretty poor, I only had one console. So like if I was burnt out on a game, I
Hmm.
could go to any of the arcades. And New York used to have so many back in the
Yeah.
day. And we could just go like $5 back in the day on an arcade. Psh, I know I don't care about aging myself, but
When it used to be a quarter to play something, you'd be there a while.
sometimes the really good games, like some of like the ones I used to like Pac-Man,
Uh-huh.
was a nickel.
Nice.
Yeah. And we had a nickel candy store too that had a Pac-Man in one of those car games, like the generic racing car games. And me and my friends, we used to play that all the time. I had a friend, she was so good at the car racing ones. Anyone that she would find, if she found out that a store had a new one, she would go and max out the score and always get the top score. And I used to love that. That way, if you wanted something different, and you were
Yeah.
burnt out, you just go for a few bucks
Yeah.
and play arcade games. We had before, like Dave and Buster's and stuff in New York. There was, I think it was called Playland, and I want to say it was down, well, I guess up in like the more touristy area in Times Square, which in the 80s and 90s, Times Square was not what it is now. It was like the red light district. It was bad out there.
Sure.
But they had a really big arcade, and my mom used to take me, and I don't even want to say his name, but a kid my mom helped raise. His name is, anyway, his name is not relevant. He was very close to me, like Alex and Phoenix, same dynamic.
Sure.
And we would, I'll tell you, we would play there all day. You had to like close that store down around us, and my mom would take us because she knew for like $10, and that's
You'd
it.
be
These
there all
kids,
day.
the way they're gonna be in there all day, and it's inside. It probably wasn't air conditioned because nothing was air conditioned in the 80s and 90s in New York.
Right.
But it's still a lot cooler when you're inside versus being outside. So I did do that a lot.
Okay.
And then when I moved here, the Contemporary used to have an amazing arcade. It's a restaurant now.
How dare they?
Sad. But yeah, that arcade, when that was like my fix when I lived here, was the Contemporary arcade. So I did do that, and you could take me to a Dave and Buster's today, right now, and I will play.
You'll play that one
And I'll play that one machine for hours. So I don't know if that's considered gaming, but you put me in an arcade and I'm good to go for hours and hours. It's not a quarter anymore, but
they don't even let you put cash in those things, pretty much.
no.
Yeah, I did a few. There were a few arcades here. My dad used to take me to the one downtown Orlando, and then there was one on Colonial that I used to go to with him too. But I didn't go to arcades too much. I did have games at home, and I had a lot of games, so I didn't need to. But arcade games are different, so you know it's something different to do for sure. And I always loved like Dance Dance Revolution. When I went to UF, I played so much Dance Dance Revolution. I had the pad that you could put out, like that running game on Nintendo. There was a running game on Nintendo.
I vaguely remember.
We had as a kid, and me and my cousins or whatever, I would just be like on there, because you don't actually run, but you just lift your foot up and down really fast, and you would do that, and so that reminded me of Dance Dance Revolution. So I would get really good at the dance because it's really just hitting the up or the down or the side to the side. So it wasn't like you're really dancing. So, that was, I had a time of doing that. So that reminded me of arcade games and stuff like that. So that's what I had with me at UF besides all my regular Nintendo game or something. I had that one. And that's probably how I didn't gain the freshman 15 and I lost the freshman 15 because I didn't eat that much and I had to play a lot of games and I walked everywhere and I took the bike everywhere. So
those are good times. Walk into the arcade. Even now in like our older years, I mean, now I think this was before COVID, so maybe almost 8 years ago, but we went for your birthday to Dave and Buster's that one time. And that's one of my fondest memories. I love that day. And we got the big stack of the thing and all the coins and all the cards fell and we were just cheering. And it was like, we were in our 30s, like easily in our 30s. And I was having a ball.
Hey,
and I still...
Games are fun no matter what time.
I love it. I love it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily like to go by myself, but like, I love that kind of stuff. But Cabana, that's probably why I like Cabana as much too. That they have a nice arcade there too. And they have my machine. So, leave me by my machine. I'll just play all day.
All right. Well, we're rounding down here. So what would you say you're nerding out about now?
I feel like it's been out a minute now. Maybe we can talk a little about the Superman movie.
Okay.
That just came out. I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been a minute now. It hasn't just come out anymore. I hope everyone has seen it. it's not really like I can say I'm gonna give spoilers away. It's the story of Superman.
Yeah.
If you don't know it by now, my gosh, like it's not like I don't think they reinvent the wheel. I don't know why there's any talk of drama or anything. I thought it was very drama free. In fact, it was funny. There was a lot of funny parts in it. But
and a dog apparently.
oh my
Super
gosh,
dog or whatever his name is.
Crypto, like let me tell you, that dog stole the movie. That's what I said when I left the movie. I was like, this movie is proof of one thing: dogs are better than people. Because oh my god, that dog stole the show. He was phenomenal. He was exactly like what a bad dog that's a great dog
Yeah.
is. You know, I loved him. I've always loved his story.
I don't know anything about the dog. I know there's a dog, but I never knew anything about the story.
Yeah, I mean, well, if I guess if I give too much of that storyline away, that would be a spoiler. But because it is no, it is a little different in the movie. But he's had different, like I guess Crypto's had different storylines. But I mean, he's pretty much a dog that came with him from Krypton. So he's a super dog.
In like any timeline, because which one?
In all the timelines that I've read or seen about him, yeah, he comes from their planet. And he's always he has powers through that. And they always put the little cape on him, and he's so cute. And he
no
flies
Superman
around.
I ever watched had a dog, so I'm like, when did the dog come in?
So yeah, but he's not because he's not always in all the timelines. But yeah, they need to put him in all the timelines because it's great. Like Superman has a constant friend, you know, that's not Batman. Because Batman and him have been friends in different storylines.
Okay, like they're friends.
Yeah, I mean Batman's like Batman, so he doesn't have friends. But
he's stoic and doesn't like to get close to people because his parents were killed.
Yeah, but Batman and Superman, in my opinion, in different timelines, they are friends.
Okay.
Yes. And of course Lois and Clark, and of course Lois and Superman, like that's always a constant. But like not necessarily like your spouse is like your best friend, and like that's like man's best friend. So I thought the dynamic with the dog was so cute. Look, I dressed Grogu up because Grogu liked it too. See? Grogu Superman, and it was so good. Like I left the movie. I thought it was very funny. I left the movie very happy. I don't know why people are saying that there's any kind of drama with it. They're liars. There's no drama. I am gonna spoil the part that I love the most because I don't care. It doesn't change the plot too much, and I already spoke to you about it. So I'm just gonna say it.
Okay.
In modern times, photo identification and photo recognition is everywhere. The glasses thing is not going to fool people as much as it used to back in the day. They explained it away in one swift little sentence. His glasses are hypnoglasses, and it changes his face so that others see his face. Whoops.
Sorry.
So that others see his face differently. And I'm like, that's brilliant. It's simple. It's to the point. It explains how come other people can't see it. And I think that's perfect. That made me so happy. It was like, see, okay, we can have Superman in the modern day now.
Yeah.
Because I was always like, I feel like Superman might not work in the modern day because of that flaw. But they explained the flaw away. I'm like, perfect, great. We'll never not have Superman. I'm so happy. I would
say the difficulty of him in the modern day is cameras are everywhere.
Cameras are everywhere.
If you plan on having a secret identity, somebody's gonna catch you on camera.
Yeah.
Changing.
You can't do the phone booth change anymore. That died in the 90s.
Yeah, there's no phone booths and everything's on video. So like how are you gonna avoid big C? But
yeah, it'll have to be somewhere like in bathrooms or something somehow. And then even
or just
then
your super speed is so fast you can't be seen on cameras.
Yeah. I feel like they mentioned that in the show, the Flash show. Because Barry of things, of course, super speed.
Right. And
you can see like his super speed aura, but like it's so fast you can't. There's no cameras that can catch up with
Dash, where the teacher's like, "That was him. He put that tag on my chair," and he's like, "I caught him on video, and right there." I don't see anything.
Yeah, he's too fast. Yeah, and I mean, of course, the storyline could just not mention that part, which they don't. But the glasses thing was big because that's like you're seeing someone, and not to mention they always make Superman super tall. Like he towers over everyone. You can tell me this tall
guy,
good-looking man. Right. No one's gonna notice him. I'm gonna notice a tall, good-looking man. Yeah. Period.
Anybody tall, people automatically look at them.
Yeah.
And they hate it. They're like, everybody's always looking at me because they gotta look up and they're like.
Yeah, and all the Supermen are tall, and they're all gorgeous. And I'm like, of course I would notice them, and I would notice Clark too.
Yeah.
I know they like to say that Clark's frumpy and whatever.
Clark's good
Have y'all seen Clark?
looking.
Any other
Right.
Clarks? Just throw one in there. Have y'all seen Clark?
And some people like people in glasses better.
I don't know who you could be talking about. I have no idea what you mean. No idea what you're talking about.
But you like the movie? Would you watch it again?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would go with you. You have to go see it. You have to see it. You've been
I
a
have to.
you've been a Superman fan your whole life. You
So.
one time when Brandon Routh's Superman came out,
Uh-huh.
and I remember all the crap you say. You were like but I'm gonna go see it just because it's Superman. Well, you have to see it just because it's Superman.
Brandon, it's my kind of good looking. This new guy, I'm like,
And have you seen Brandon in real life? Because I have.
he's really good looking.
And he's so tall. And he's so tall. I was flirting
Like
with him
Henry
unintentionally.
Cavill, good looking.
Oh.
Brandon, good looking. This new guy, I'm like,
He's cute. No, he's cute.
He's cute, but he ain't like.
The one that I don't think is cute is Tyler, and I didn't like his personality
Which
either.
one's that?
Yeah, exactly. Girl, yes, you said it. The show one. He did the Superman and Lois,
the
or
Lois
whatever.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I avoided that one on purpose because I'm like, that's not my Superman.
And his personality, like in real life, didn't give off Superman. I know there's endless controversy with Dean Cain, whatever. Yes, he puts his foot in his own mouth, whatever. But
he says crazy things.
But his Superman I thought was great. And in real life, he's really great with fans, super polite. And if you go to conventions and you gauge it by popularity of lines being long, Dean's line is always long. And they put him next to Tyler at MegaCon, and Tyler was having a whole tantrum because his line was short and Dean's line was long. I guess he thought, no one likes Dean. Why is his line long? I'm like,
everybody likes Dean.
I'm like, people like Dean, they just don't like his beliefs.
They don't like the things he says.
Yeah, I don't like the things he says. And it was I didn't get a good vibe off of Tyler. I didn't. And Brandon was there again too. I was accidentally flirting with him.
Yeah, I didn't like
and
that
his
movie.
wife was there joking with me about
Brandon looked like a Superman.
Yeah,
for sure.
He looks like Christopher Reeves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he has a very Christopher Reeve. And then Tyler's Lois, she has a Margaret. I think that's her name. The actress who played Lois. She has that vibe. I feel like if they would have had that Lois and that Superman together, like their looks would have been like the classic look. Like they really would have had it well. But I guess that movie, Brandon's Superman, just didn't do well. I don't know. I loved it. I was waiting for the sequel, but it never came.
But wasn't my favorite, but I liked it.
They never explained something that I will be always as a fan questioning, question mark. How did they have that baby? Like, thought they were interspecies and they can't have children, but they had a son.
Well, same with Lois and Clark. Where'd this baby come from?
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know. They just were given a baby. Lois and Clark in the movie had a baby.
Superman blanket.
Yeah.
Like, is it a super baby?
I think I asked Dean, or he said it in an interview once, or maybe it's my brain imagining it, but I'm pretty sure I asked him once, and he said that it was supposed to be a whole storyline for season 5. And that was what season 5 was supposed to be based off of.
Sure.
Explaining, because they didn't know either. And they were like, sure, we're going to love and treat this baby like our own, but where'd it come from? And then the baby was supposed to super age, and it's easier to have a kid than a baby in a set. So they were going to super age it and whatever. I wish I could find that interview. I'll ask him again next time I see him.
Okay.
And it'll be fresh in my mind.
Which will be soon.
It's usually once a year. It's usually once a year. But I'll ask him next time again. And I do believe that it was a baby that they needed to save, and the safest place was to put the baby with them. So kind of like Clark's story, where the safest people were Martha and Jonathan, but now the safest people are Clark and Lois, and Clark would be the most equipped to take care of this baby.
Because it's a super baby.
So I do believe that was what the storyline was supposed to be, but of course we never got a season 5.
Sure.
So
okay,
it's fine. Terry was pregnant. She wanted to be safe.
Okay,
it's fine. I won't be resentful anymore.
I was just watching a podcast with Bones people, and Temperance was pregnant 2 times during that show.
I know. I know. But she didn't have to do a lot of stunts like.
Well, they had
Terry
TJ on there, TJ Thine, on the podcast with them, and he was saying that other people were worried about whether the show would end when she was pregnant. So she could have been like, bye. And she's like, I didn't know I had that kind of power.
That's funny. I mean, they worked
Anyway,
the baby into the show, so
yeah, she didn't have it when she was pregnant. Well, the
the
first time,
first
but the
one.
second one she did.
Mm.
Anyway, what am I nerding out about?
You said you
I
remembered.
remember.
Okay.
Uh, GeoGuessr.
Okay, you'll have to inform.
You
I
don't
have
know what
no
it is.
idea.
It's where it's like an online multiplayer game
Hmm.
where they use Google Maps,
Mm-hmm.
where they just show you a place on the map and you have to guess where it is. So
That's
people get really good at it. There's like tournaments and world tournaments about it. So
wow.
people are really good at it. And then they could just tell like a location, like a picture of a street, and from like, oh, this pole like this is in this country, or these trees right here, and this mountain says it's right here. And I'm like, what are you talking
That's the smart person game. I don't know geography that
But I'm
well.
like, I want to play. I played once. You can play for free,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise it's like a subscription. But you
Mm-hmm.
can play 3 times a day for free, where you guess 3 times. And I guessed 3 times. Like one time I was in the right country. There's other times it was like it's the whole world.
It's
Like,
the whole world. Oh
but
my
they're like
gosh.
all the time. Anytime it's an island, like they study islands and stuff, so they can be like, oh, that's this island. As soon as it comes up. And so it's a lot of videos on YouTube
Wow.
about people having like pros play against their friends, because they play with their friends, but then they
Mm-hmm.
bring a pro in to pretend
Mm-hmm.
it's them. And so they're like, why are you so good at this?
That sounds so.
But yeah, it's literally Google Maps street view picture, and then sometimes they can look back at the Google car and tell which country from the Google car that they use. I was like, what?
I know people be waiting around for like the Google people to come take pictures so
Yeah.
they could be in it, and they set up scenarios so
So it
they're
looks
in
like
it.
they're getting rid of bodies or something.
Yeah, well, because that happened once for real, I think. So
Yeah.
then people are like, well, we're gonna keep making up that this is happening. I know I've seen people do that, but I didn't know there was like a whole kind of game
Yeah,
and
there's a
stuff.
game now
Wow.
on like geoguessr.com or something, and literally they just show you an image of a location and you have to guess. And so people, you can look around like in Google Street
Uh-huh.
View, and so people are like, oh, this mountain's to the east, and so it's on this, it'll be this part in this map. Oh, and it's this road. If they get a road sign or something, they get right on the road, and like you got to see how many meters close you can get it, and that's how this says your points. And if you're way closer than the other person, because you're usually playing against somebody,
Hmm.
you can like knock off their points because you're way, depending on how
Wow.
much closer you are than they
That's funny.
are.
No, I never heard of it. And I don't think I would do good at it because I don't think I'm good at geography like
Yeah,
that.
you have to know
Where you
stuff.
are,
Like
right? It
you
sounds like that.
that, and you have to like get good, like learn like how light poles look in different countries and how the street is in different countries. Like people, they do their streets different in different countries, and just you see a little bit of the language, so you have to learn how other languages
Oh, I
look.
guess, yeah, I guess contents clues.
Yeah,
I know I saw once that they put gates or something around trees in London or something.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I read that somewhere.
Architecture, like how the light pole look, how the sun is. Like there's that one guy who's like, "Oh, the sun's in this part, and so I know this is where this is."
Wow, that's next level. Those are geniuses right
Yeah.
there.
Uh,
Oh, wow.
but it's been really interesting watching those videos, and like looking at this picture come up, and like you can guess too right before they guess. You're like, and like in 2 seconds they're like, "Oh, this is Philippines." What?
Wow. I love that.
But that's what I've been nerding out about. It's been really interesting. So that's it for our video on video games. Thanks so much for hanging out with us and watching. Don't forget to comment about what you're nerding out about. And remember, like, comment, subscribe, and come join us next time. Thanks so much.
Bye.